Hello, I'm Otto, and welcome to episode 31 of my Factorio Space Age Guide. So, in the last episode, we talked a little bit about the logistics, personal logistics, and then we also set up some military stuff. We also had a problem at the end of the last episode, which is, it happens. It is what it is. So, we're going to beef this up a little bit. So, I'm going to put a pump down. Do I have pumps? Yes, I do. And this should... Wait, what? Really? Well, we don't need water going past this point. Did I not delete those? Oh. Alright, whatever. Anyways, so in this episode, we are going to make some purple science. So I'm actually going to set up a couple more things here. We kind of want, like, basically anything that we need, we want to have on us, and this is how we can really accomplish that. We're gonna go ahead and start putting the green inserters on this. We don't need them yet. Like, there's very few things that um, we need these for at the moment. What else do we need? We need assemblers. We need chemical plants. We'll do 20. Like, I think I have like 30. Oh, I do not have 30 on me. I sometimes carry 30 on me, but we're gonna do 20 of those. Pipes, 100. Underground pipes, also 100. We need some... Make sure we keep some of these on us. The power poles. I'm probably... Yeah, let's do some storage stuff too. Like, I don't use that much storage stuff, but I like to have it on me just in case. And then maybe some combinators. We're only going to do 10 of each of these, though. Again, like, same thing. I don't really use that many. But when you need one, it's nice to have something on you. Oh, yes, the bots have placed a lot of concrete down for us. Go bots. Okay, purple science. So, we are going to need quite a few things for purple science. So, let's see what we need. Purple science. So, we need rails, we need electric furnaces, and we need productivity modules. So, everything that we need is going to be a crafted component within this build. So, that should be fun. So, let's start with furnaces. What do we need for furnaces? So for furnaces, we need steel, we need red circuits, and we need stone brick. So let's just drop a couple of these. I don't know. We'll see how much. So steel. Where'd you go, steel? Steel. We need red circuits. We need stone brick. And then we also needed productivity modules. So for this we need green circuits and red circuits. So we have red circuits coming in, so we can just add green circuits to that. And then rails. So for rails, we need steel, which we have. We need stone, and we need iron sticks. So we don't have iron sticks on the bus. We're going to have to make iron sticks on site. And for iron sticks, all we need is copper plates. Okay, so we need stone coming in, and we need iron coming in. So there's a couple of different ways that we could go about doing all of this. So first off, let's take a look at what we really need. So looks like the most, so first off, I guess the ratio to kind of match what we have for some of the other sciences. For purple science, we're going to aim for the 1.5. So I'm just going to... $15. Okay, so we need 15 of those. So what are we gonna do next? We'll just go down the line. So if we're making 15 of these to get us to the 1.5 science per second mark, then for the electric furnaces, we need, let's see, 0.03 times 15 is 45. 45 divided, 0.45. 0.45 divided by 0.15 is 3. So we will need 3 of these. So same thing for the productivity modules. The 0.03 times 15 is 0.45. And then 0.45 divided by 0.05 is 9. Oops, I should copy this. So we need 9 of these. And last, the rails. So the rails make 3 per second. 15 times 1.07 is going to be, I don't know, something like maybe barely over 16 per second. So this is where some issues are going to start coming up, because if we have 15 science per second, which is what we want, and we need 16 point something, let's just say, let's not even call it 16. I mean, it's over 16. Let's just call it 18, because we're going to end up making 6 of these. So we are going to be capable of producing, or we're going to need to produce 6 assemblers worth of rails to be able to match what we need for the purple science. So if these are making 3 per second, 3 times 6 is 18. And if you recall, we are using red belts, and we can only move 15 items per second on one side of the belt. So if we only put this on one side, this is not enough. This is too much to put on one side of the belt. So we will probably want to make a full belt out of this. Only once we upgrade to blue belts would we be able to put all of this on one side of the belt. But we're gonna deal with it. We're gonna play around with this. And then this needs 1.5 sticks per second, and these make 3 per second. So we need 1 every other. So we're gonna need 3 of these total. Okay, so that is quite the starting place. And just off the top of my head, it seems like we could match these together. Probably not. So probably what I'm thinking, what I'm going to end up doing is we are going to make a build that is kind of close to some of the other things that we've done. We're going to use this as our base point, kind of, I think. So we're going to start with the rails, and the reason why we're going to start... Okay, no. Let me back up again. So I have started making all of these in a way that is expandable. So we want to eventually be able to expand these in the future. Why is no one coming to grab this? Whatever. Did my bots die? Like, what is going on, people? Oh, I spotted it. There it is. I did not filter this. I mentioned it in the last video. What was I saying? So I've been making these in a way that is that allows them to be expandable. And I kind of want to do that here too. I don't think that I can make, like, the requirements for rails is pretty steep. I think I might be able to make it so that we can double this if we upgrade to blue belts. Another issue that we're going to have is actually steel. So stone is going to be an issue. Sorry, it's not even stone. Stone is really not the issue. The issue is going to be actually being able to output this amount of rails. But steel is going to be an issue for sure, because this is 1.5 times 6 plus these three here will also need 1.5 per second. So 9 times, that's like 14, like that's just like, or 13 something, I don't know. We're just barely going to be able to make the cutoff for, it's like 13.5. We're just barely going to be able to have enough steel coming in. So because I want to be able to expand that, even if we just doubled it, doubling is going to be like a full belt worth of steel, almost. 20, what's that, 27 items per second. And then same with the belts here. If we're producing like, let's say 16-ish per second, or let's, we're going to be producing 18 per second, or capable of producing 18 per second. If we were to double this, then we would need to be able to produce 36 per second, which is definitely not going to, it's not going to work with red belts. And this is actually a large reason why I am so happy that I started working with red belts. Like, this would be way more of a disaster and an issue if we were just using yellow belts at this point. Even if you were using yellow belts at this point, I would hope that by now you would have upgraded to the red belts. Like, I just, the logistical nightmare of trying to manage 15 items per second with all this would be ridiculous and unnecessary. Okay, so let's bring some of this stuff up. We want, I'm gonna use remote view for now. I kind of want things to like roughly line up with where these are. So we're just gonna get kind of in the ballpark, and then we're gonna start plugging away from here. So immediately I know we will need to drop this down. We're also going to need, that is not the direction. That is still not the direction. That's the direction. Let's say four belts worth of stuff. So I'm going to remove these and shift them over. And this probably gives us a good baseline on what we're dealing with. So this is a given. So we're going to toss that one over here. Steel is probably going to be by itself. Stone as well, but we might be able to double up these two. So let's see if we can manage this. So we've got 4 belts here. And it makes sense to have the iron plates on this side, because since we're bringing this in here, it just, whatever you have coming in first is probably going to be easiest. And again, because we're making this like kind of modular and expandable, everything that we have here needs to be able to continue through. So what we will end up doing is we will have outgoing items coming in over here. We're gonna have purple science coming out this way. So the rails will probably, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna end up here. And it's probably gonna have to look more like this. If we, again, are making this expandable, we will probably want to just copy what we can and paste it. And to be able to do that, we need to make sure that we have enough room for something that looks like this, let's say. And I believe we're going to have another something coming through like this. So, how do we get all of this in here? Actually, as a matter of fact, I think I already see an error in my reasoning. We want this to go back by 1. And I just accidentally collected a construction bot. My bad, buddy. What a cool game this is, right? I know. Okay, so we need, these will need to be long inserters. And we're going to have to probably do some funky stuff. We're going to have to get in. What do we need? We need stone and steel. to come in, and to do that, we're going to have to push this back. That is still not going to be... I need this up closer. You know what, I can probably make this work. Okay, so this will go through here. This would just need to come around like this. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. And then this can underground there, and this can underground there. So the iron plates and the stone brick will be allowed to go underground through the stone and the steel. The steel and the stone will match together here, which gives us what we need for the rails. And then the rails will go out here. Like this. And because so I'm going to be planning for the ability to double this up. Okay, so we're going to leave room. We're going to vertical flip. We're going to leave room for this. As a matter of fact, if we left this the way it is, we would not actually be able to put all of this out on one side of the belt. So instead of doubling up like this, we're actually going to double up like this. So we're just going to omit all of this for now. And if we expand later, we can add all this back. But we now have left enough room to be able to put now 18 items per second on a single belt. So this will be our stone line, and that's, or sorry, rails line. And that is that. We're going to need some power in here too, so I'm thinking... Oh, I should not have deleted those. Just yet. Sure, let's just do it like that. And then that way, again, in the future, we will have plenty enough room. We will have the power prepared and ready. All is going to be good in the world. The copper, or some, wow, oh my gosh, not again. The iron plates for the sticks will just be the earliest possible item. Okay, so we only need... I'm just gonna put these down now. We only need... I think we're gonna do the furnaces next, and I think the reason why we're gonna do the furnaces is because if we have iron coming through here, and we have stone brick coming along the same line as the iron, this is gonna be like a... Oh, this is probably going to be the worst part of this build, actually, is I'm going to need like 3 different belts coming in to feed this one single belt. So actually this is far enough back because I'm going to... You know what? We'll have this be the output belt. So what I am kind of thinking is that we're going to use this on one side of the belt and then the productivity on the opposite side of the belt. So if we match these together, these inserters will place the electric furnaces on the opposite side of the belt, so that whenever this comes through, we can then just take the productivity modules and run this right into the right into the belt. Okay, so that should work. The fun part is going to be trying to figure out how to get 9 of the... Okay, we're not going to do 9. I'll do 6 and 3, and then if we need to double it, I'll leave room for the extra 3 and the extra 6. Yeah, that'll work. And then this can all just be 5, 5, 5. Okay, so we have stone brick coming in for this, which is going to be here. What else do we need coming in here? So we're going to have 2 belts coming in here as well, because one of them is going to be steel, and one of them is going to be the green and red circuit belt. So the green and red circuits are on the far side. So if we assume that we can go in from this direction, steel is coming down this line here, which means that to get it in, it's going to have to be recessed so that it can go over. This can go through here, and this is there. And then stone jumps over there. Okay, I believe that'll work. Output. Okay, so now we need inputs for these. And since we're eventually going to have 3 more over here, maybe, we're going to do the little thing that we have been doing with the substations, and we're just going to have that there. We can leave the undergrounds, that's fine. Alright, so that covers the 3 electric furnaces that we need. So I can remove those. Now what about these? So let's... Okay, this kind of works because we have red and green circuits coming in through here, which is exactly what we need. So that's the 6. This will just run right in, and we need the other 3. And again, eventually we will get these 3, and then we will make room for another. I did not mean to. No, come back. Bad bots. I'm so bad about hitting Control X. Control C. There we go. Yeah, so we will make sure to leave enough room for all of that. These will be outputs. Yeah. And then we will remove these. I'm gonna leave this one here as a guideline. So let's say that if this is coming in here, so this would be able to feed off from here. It would need an output belt going into this one, let's say. And then these are gonna need to be these are gonna have to be, we're gonna have to bring stuff in for these. I know this is gonna look really weird, but we might have the productivity modules coming in through here, and then they're gonna have to also like curl back into the purple science. Okay, so that is... I don't think that I finished setting all of this up. That's good. That is going input. This is probably just going to do the same thing here. I don't know what kind of belt work we're going to need, so I'm just going to let that float there. Actually, I do know what kind of belt work we're going to need, so this can actually come down by 1 because this is just going to line up here. And this is the outgoing belt. Okay. For the future stuffs. Alright, so this is an outgoing belt, so this is not something that we're going to be using for... No! And I'm going to line these up on the back side, and I feel like we're going to need 2 belts coming in. I'm going to need something coming in here. If I have them coming in like this... I am not sure how I would manage to line this up. This one... wouldn't work. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about this for a second. So, I need one of these to be an outgoing belt. I've got 2 belts coming in, so if I cut this... So if these were outgoing... yeah, sure. Alright. This is gonna have to... We're gonna have to do some funky stuff here. Why? Because this is now gonna have to hop over. Okay, we're getting there. That needs to be back by 1. Because this will come in and... This will come in here and then merge with other purple coming this way. So now I can do my... Nope. Not like that. My kind of typical... Alright, so this comes through, is allowed to pass. This comes through, splits here, and is allowed to pass. Okay. So now we need this. We need an outgoing belt here. And then this will be, so these are going to be, this is an outgoing belt, which means that we need to also have this go in and this one go in, with this one going over and this one going through. Right. And then in the future, we would just take this and vertically flip it to match it here, which would double the output. Okay, so these are now wrong. No. Those were right. Those were right. Ah! Alright. So that. Alright, so now we need input there. Input from this one here. And then input longhand. I am willing to bet that I should have waited. Oh, nope, that's going to be fine. Sweet. And then longhand inputs for this one over here. Come on, bots. You can get here faster than that. Let's go. They really can't, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay, so that is going to be the build. Man, look at how choppy this is. This is, I guess, as far as a part 1 type deal, this is probably the ugliest thing that I've made so far. But again, once it's, not that we will ever double this up, but if you ever wanted to double this up, there you go. You have the ability to just add another 9 of these here, another 3 of these here, and another 6 of these over here. And then 15 more of these down here. Whew! What a build. I'm gonna just, I think I'm just gonna stop these at the undergrounds. We kind of can figure out what, what continues on, right? Oh boy, now we have to get all this connected. Whew, that's gonna be the hard part. Um, Wait a minute, this is not gonna work. That will work. All right. I don't think this was the last thing on the build. Oh yes. Do I really want to make sure to leave? Yeah. I have standards. What can I say? I am totally just willy-nilly putting these down. Didn't even think to. Okay, so these are gonna be the easiest. So let's not deal with them first. Let's do. This one's probably gonna be the weirdest. So let's bring in some stone brick. Right, so this is gonna be the stone brick pile. I want the stone brick to continue on, and iron is going to come down in here, but iron needs to be on the one side of the belt. Right, so to get iron on that side of the belt, we need to have this lined up roughly here. We need to, that is a bad idea. Can I? What if I did this? So what if I just wrapped it into its, that is not going to work. That is also not going to work. Well, we're going to have to do it like that. So this is going to be priority right. This can be allowed to continue on. This is going to jump over. This one is going to continue over, and then whatever else comes through will just jump this belt. Am I okay with that? I think I am. I think I'm fine with that. Okay. I should have dragged the green circuit belt back with me, but whatever. Or the circuits back. Some weird game lag. I hope that that is not reflecting on the video. Okay, so ooh, that does not leave us that much space. This might be the hard part, actually. I thought this would be the easy part. Tell you what, we're gonna... Nope, I'm gonna recess this back. We're gonna have this come through. No, this is not gonna work. This has to be able to hop over to here because this is not enough distance. Sweet. Then it can continue on there. And we have a bit of a squish here, so let's just priority that to the right. Not that it's needed. Okay, well at least the hard ones are out of the way. I think this is the last time we need stone brick, so this was probably unnecessary. Same with stone. I think this is the last point that we need stone as well. This entire line is almost done. How about that? Let's see. Stone was supposed to be the easy one. But now this is complicated things. Oh my goodness. Talk about janky. Who doesn't like a good squiggly line, honestly? Again, I probably could have just ran this down. You know, let me actually think about this. Like where's our stone? Stone. We do not need it for anything else. Okay, you know what? Let's just scrap this. I really don't want a squiggly line. There, that's way better. Way more tolerable, and as a matter of fact, if I did this instead, then at least all of the undergrounds line up. Okay. We are 38 minutes into this. Let's get to producing, fellas. I'm going to actually, so I know what I said about copying, pasting, and getting this moved forward, but I do want to make a buffer. So the reason why we make a buffer is because, like, right now, we are not doing anything with, where am I going? Right now, we are not doing anything with science at all. So the machines are completely allowed to just fill up, continue making, and then once we are ready, then we have extras to just be able to throw at this. As we start getting more and more research lab, we will need less and less, sorry, research speed, my bad. As we get more and more lab research speed, we will need less and less research labs. The buffer helps with that. And if you found that, say, only half of your research labs were active and the other ones were just not getting fed because you weren't making enough things, it's probably time to throw some productivity modules into these. The productivity module in general is supposed to increase. So it increases energy consumption and it increases pollution, but the labs do not create pollution. So that's, not a big deal. Yeah, so that's generally what the productivity modules are used for, is like if you're struggling with inputs, like you don't have enough materials coming in, you might as well throw some productivity modules in there to try to save on some resources. There's some situations where we're definitely going to use that in the near future, but I know for sure off the top of my head. See? This is why we got to double check. I did not set this up. Alright, so we need stone. And we need steel. Alright, that was an easy fix. These are going... What are you guys doing? You guys are all crafting. These are all crafting. Sciences. Just waiting on some saturation from the newly created. So this is going to back up and then start helping. Come on. Okay, there it goes. It's backing up. That's going to help with the section here. This will be the highest flow through of materials. But once this starts backing up. Ah, come on. It was so close. If it starts backing up, it will start to funnel more and more into this line. And eventually will fully saturate. Well, maybe not fully. Pretty close to fully. There we go. Start saturating this a little bit better. It will take a little bit of time, but that's alright. This build is allowed to just, you know, keep, go and go and go and keep going. Okay, I wonder how the rocket launcher is doing. Ooh, look at that. Works as intended. We only made one green until we made our first... Wow. Okay, so, I'm going to run over there real quick. We are going... You know what? Let's just... I know we're 42 minutes into this, but we're going to have some stuff coming up that's probably a good idea to start putting quality into. And once we start doing some research for it, we're going to want to make sure that we have every chance we get to have quality in them. Basically, any building that can craft anything, it's not a bad idea to put quality into it. So for instance, maybe the reason why you wouldn't want to is because it throws off your ratios, but we should have done this earlier. We are gonna put some quality in the chemical plants. It'll be nice to have some good quality chemical plants for when we head to Volcanus. It wouldn't hurt to put it into, like, let's say rockets, because it increases the crafting speed and, sorry, the rocket silos. It increases the crafting speed, which just makes it doesn't even really help us out that much, because honestly the quote-unquote crafting speed is not that bad. But these items here, we definitely want to put some quality into. So I'm just going to control click over all 4 of these. Anything here that we can get in quality is only going to help us out. And especially this guy here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to check real quick. I don't know if we did get any quality module. We did. We got one single quality, green quality module out of the quality module maker. I probably technically should put this into the quality assembler. But we, like, the asteroid collector. Here. Having this as a green is twice as helpful, and having this as rare is 3 times as helpful when we go to space. So this is probably the single most, I would argue that at this point in the game, this is the single most important item to try to get quality out of. But to be fair, the rocket launcher helps too, so yay. We do not want any more rocket launchers. No thank you. None of this is relevant. So we are going to put that on our bars. This can go back in there. Destroy the evidence. Honestly, you could recycle that later. I just don't really care. Okay, so that is going to be it for me for this episode. If you've enjoyed my content, well, you know what to do. Also, I have a Discord now, so we have a lot of. It was a little rough at first. Like I've never set up a Discord before, so like day one of having people coming into the Discord, I had a link that was like a very temporary link, so a lot of people got removed after they came in, and some of them came back, not all of them. You know, whatever. I'm new to a lot of this. I'm a good like I've been playing Factorio for a long time. Everything else, YouTube and Discord, I'm very new to. So there's a lot that I have to learn. I am learning along the way, but I am continuing to work on the Discord, bits and pieces here and there. So yeah, come join us. There's quite a few of us in there now. And I will be hopefully posting some exclusive content for Discord, um, plus some other, it's probably one of the better ways to chat with me. But if you don't want to join the Discord, that's fine. Leave a comment for me in the comment section. I love reading the different comments about how people are handling the game, even from veterans. Like a little bit of chit chat back and forth is always healthy. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me for this episode. I will see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.